In drafting the basic short, front, and back pattern, we need the following materials and tools. First, Manila paper, French curve, ruler, pencil, and tape measure. The needed measurement in drafting the basic front and back short pattern are the following: short length, crotch length, hip measurement divided by 4 plus 3 inches. So mine is 9 and 1/4 plus 3 is equal to 12 and 1/4 inches. To start drafting the basic short pattern, we must draw a fundamental line. In drawing a fundamental line, make sure to measure 3 inches from the top of our pattern paper. So, this is my 3 inches. Measure 3 inches from the top, and draw a horizontal line. Okay. Next step is to locate the center of our pattern paper. So, for my pattern paper, this is the center. Then, draw a vertical line. So, the intersection of horizontal and vertical line will be our point A. So, let's label the intersection as point A. Okay. To get point B, from point A, measure our crotch length. So, my crotch length is 10 inches. From point A, measure our crotch length. So, my crotch length is 10 inches downward. So, this will be my point B. Okay, to get point C, from point A, downward, measure our short length. So, my short length is 15. So, I'll be measuring 15 inches downward. So, this is my point C. Extend point B to the right. Okay, let's extend first point B to the right. Ayan. Then extend point B to the left. Okay. After extending point B to the left, to get point D, from point B, measure to the right the 1/4 of our hip with 3 inches. So mine is 12 and 1/4. So to get point D, from point B, I will be measuring 12 and 1/4. So 12 and 1/4. So this is my point D. Okay. To get my point to get point E, from point A, we will also measure the 1/4 of our hip plus the 3 inches. So, same with point B and point D. So, it's 12. So, this will be my point E. Okay. Next step. To get point F, ayan, to get point F, from point B to the left, we will measure again 1/4 of our hip plus the 3 inches. So, it's 12 and 1/4. Okay, so this is my point F. Okay, next, to get point G, from point A to the left, we will also measure 1/4 of our hip plus the 3 inches. So, again, mine is 12 and 1/4. So, this is my point G. Okay. Now, let's connect point E and D using a ruler. Okay, same with point G and F using ruler. Okay. Okay, next. To get point H, okay, to get point H from point B, measure 2.5 to the right. So let's measure 2 inches to the right. So that is my point H. Okay, next, to get point I, from point D, we will measure 3 inches upward. So, upward. So, this is my point I. So, we will connect point H or point H and I or point I and H using our French curve. So, this is our French curve. Let's connect the 2 points like this. Okay, so that is on how we connect point I and H using our French curve. Next, so don't forget that this part, the right part, will be our front pattern. So let's label it. This will be our front short pattern. Okay, then the left part, so then this left part will be our back. Let's mark back short pattern. Okay. So after getting point I, let's get point J. How? From point F, we will measure 3.5. So this is my point J. Okay. From after getting point J, let's get point K. So to get point K, from point G, we will measure 3/4 to the left or inward. So 3/4. So this is my point K. So create a diagonal line by connecting point K and point F and make sure to extend the line from the point K upward like this. Extend the line, connect first diagonally, and make sure to extend the line. Okay, so we extend point K upward. To get point L, from the extended line, measure 1 inch upward. So let's measure 1 inch upward. So this is our point L. Now next, let's connect point L to point E using a meter stick or long ruler like this. Connect point L to point E here. Okay. So after connecting point L and point E, let's proceed in getting point M. So to get point M from point F in the diagonal line, let's measure 3 inches upward. Okay, so this is my point M. So now, let's connect point M and point J using our French curve again. Like this. Okay, so that is our point M and point J. Now, to get point N, measure point D and point H minus 1. Then the result in subtracting 1 inches will be the measurement of point N. Okay, so let's measure first. Let's measure point D. So mine is 14 and 3/4. So minus 1, it will be 13 and 3/4. So from point C to the right, to get point N, we'll measure 13 and 3/4. So mark this one as point N. Okay. So don't forget to extend point C to the right. Ayan. So after getting point N, we can now connect point H and point N using our ruler, like this. Okay, so now let's get point O. How to get the point O? So from point C to the left, that is our point O. But before that, let's measure first point B and point J. Okay, so my measurement is 15 and 3/4. Now let's subtract 1 in 15 and 3/4. So don't forget to subtract. Okay, so the result will be 14 and 3/4. So my point O is 14 and 3/4. So this is my point O. Mark this one as point O and extend first the point C to the left. Okay, and connect point J and point O using a ruler. Okay, so this will be our basic pattern for our back short pattern, and this will be our basic pattern for the front short pattern. Making the final pattern of our front and back short pattern, we need to add the seam allowances. Okay, let's start in the hemline. So, here in the hemline of our short, the seam allowance of our front and back hemline is 1.5 inches. Okay, so let's measure 1.5 inches. So 1.5 and 1.5. So let's create a broken line for our seam allowances of our final front short pattern. Okay, so for our inseam, our seam allowances is 1 inch. So I'm sorry. For our inseam, rather, it's 3/4. So ayan. So make sure to connect the intersection line like this. Ayan. So let's make to connect the intersection line for our cutting, para hindi tayo mahirapan. Okay, for the crotch, it's also 3/4 like in inseam. So 3/4. Let's connect first this. Ayan. Okay. And also here. It must be 3/4. But here, we can use ruler since it's a straight line. Okay. Okay. For our waistline or garter line, the measurement is 1 inch. So it's 1 inch. So this is our 1 inch, 1 inch, and we can now use our ruler. Okay, so let's extend this one, connect it, connect the intersection, and make a broken line. Okay, so this is our front final short pattern because it has a same allowances. Now let's proceed to our back pattern. So for our back pattern, to make it final pattern, let's also add our seam allowances. First thing first, to our hemline. So in our hemline, it's also 2.5, same with front final pattern. So since it's a straight line, we can use our ruler. Okay, create a broken line. Okay, now for our inseam, it's 3/4. So 3/4. It's also here 3/4. Okay, we can use our ruler since it's a straight line. Again, connect the intersection line. Okay, so for our crotch, same with our inseam, it's 3/4. So this is the 3/4. Okay, 3/4, 3/4 inch. Okay, since this one, make sure how we add seam allowances in our crotch in the diagonal line. So this is also 3/4, 3/4. Ayan. We can now use our ruler since this is a diagonal line, not a curved line. Ayan. Okay, now for our garter or waist, it's also 1 inch. Same with our front. Okay, 1 inch. 1 inch. Okay, let's connect the lines. Intersection, magko-connect sila. Ayan. So, this will be our final back short pattern since it has its allowances from both end, hemline, inseam, and our crotch, and in our garter. So this is our front and back final pattern of our short.